Welcome to stage 5. This is a pretty quick stage. We've only got to make one new part, and we've actually already made most of it for another part. It's very similar to this friction pin with bore part that we've already made. So let's open that part. You can either open it by clicking on the file directly, or you can go to the assembly, click on the part in the graphics area and press open part. Now we basically want to make this exact same pin, but we only want one of these arms coming off it. We don't want both of them. So we could just keep this one and then cut one side off. But it's probably a little bit less messy to adjust the original features. First, let's save this part as a copy. So from within this part, let's go to File, Save As. Let's choose Save As Copy and Open. So make sure you have Save As Copy and Open selected down here. And let's rename the part. Let's call it something like one-sided friction pin with bore and press Save. I'm going to close the original part and then make some small changes to this part. So if you remember, when we made this pin, first we made that long center section. And we did this using mid-plane extrudes. So we need to just modify that original center section. So instead of going out in both directions, it only goes in one direction. To start off with this, let's edit that first feature, the pin feature. Firstly, we don't need to go in both directions. So instead of a mid-plane, we can change it to blind. And also, we only need to extrude half of that original distance. Originally, it was 22.7, so we just need to half that. If you're not too hot on maths, an easy way to divide this by 2 is to just click in the box and then after the number, just put /2 and then press enter. This will divide that number by 2. So that's now being divided by 2. It's 11.35 without us having to do any of the maths. Then let's press OK to accept that feature. And let's do the same for the next feature. So I'm going to edit this middle feature. I'm going to change it from a mid-plane to a blind extrude. So this means we're only extruding in one single direction. And then I'm also going to half the amount that we're extruding. So I'm going to click after the number in the box. I'm going to put /2 and press enter. And that will divide that number by 2. And then I'm going to press OK to accept that feature. Then let's drag down again. We've got the same outer rim, so we can just leave that. Then if we drag down again, the mirror feature's got an error on it. But we don't actually need this mirror feature because we've only got one side. So we can completely delete that. Next, let's drag down again to add the bore cut. And with this, you might find that you get an error. If we click on that feature, we can see the error says, cannot locate the end of the feature. So let's edit that feature and see exactly what the problem is. Now the problem is we're trying to cut through or both. But the sketch is actually right on the end of the part already. So there's nothing for it to cut on the left-hand side. So SolidWorks is getting a bit mixed up here. To fix this, let's just uncheck this direction 2 box. So now we're just cutting through all in one single direction. You might need to flip the direction by clicking the reverse direction box here. And now we can see the preview's working correctly. We're going through all the model in the correct direction. So you can press OK to make that cut. Let's drag down again below the next feature, and the slot cut has been created properly. If we actually look at the sketch underneath, we've still got that slot on the left-hand side, but because there's nothing there, it doesn't really matter that there's nothing to cut there. So we can just leave that as it is. Next, we can drag down again. So there we've got the middle body. We can go down again, and then we've got the hole or the bore through the middle. Then for the next one, we've got that outer rim cut. And then for the final one, the mirror, we've mirrored that rim cut onto the other side. So that's that part complete, and it's already the correct color, so we can just save that. In the next video, we'll be putting this part into stage 5 of the assembly.